Hey, welcome back. Welcome. Isn't today a good day to have a good day? Especially since inmate Boone is in her cell fractious, wondering what Judge Jackson is going to decide in her final motion. I will admit I too am frazzled. Nonetheless, I've been having fun docket watching with you guys.
You went to the store to buy cigarettes?
Yes.
What time was that around? If you recall. Was it light out still? Dark out?
Yes, it was light out still.
It was still light out. Okay. But he's the only person that left and he came back?
Yes.
I'm assuming? Okay.
It's right down the street.
That is an excerpt from Sarah's car interrogation. Since we just reviewed her interrogation, I thought we should go over the car interrogation on the actual day of the crime. But first, breaking news. They broke into the Louvre. Did you guys hear about the major jewelry heist at the Louvre in Paris? There was so many beautiful pieces that were taken. If you didn't know, there's a manhunt underway for 4 suspects that dressed up as construction workers, used a mechanical ladder, and under 7 minutes were in and out and robbed the museum. They robbed the museum in broad daylight at 9 a.m. The museum opens at 9 a.m. Now, the Louvre is a really prestigious museum that holds like beautiful items. I've looked at the Louvre online multiple times at the items they have there. I wanted to see the Mona Lisa, and they house it there. They house the Mona Lisa there. Let me give you a visual. The Louvre is as big as 10 football fields. It's huge. It houses priceless jewelry, and the jewels that they took were worn by Napoleon's wife and queens far back as the 1800s. These jewels were huge, equal to what we would costume jewelry. Like, it looks unreal. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, who's married to Brigitte Macron, they have a very controversial relationship. He's quoted being said, "The theft committed at the Louvre is an attack on a heritage that we cherish because it is our history." He's vowed that the jewels will be returned and the suspects will be apprehended. However, there are multiple reports that these jewels are probably already on the table somewhere being soldered, snipped, and repurposed as we speak. Can you imagine? Oh, there were 9 items the jewel thieves got away with, but they dropped 1 crown the authorities found broken and cracked on the floor. So they retrieved 1 crown. Look at these beautiful jewels. Beautiful. Look at that. Which one is your favorite? I like the bow. The bow is beautiful. This crown here is the one that was found, broken in pieces. The museum was able to retrieve it. These jewels are priceless. The museum has been closed since the heist. Now, remember I told you that it happened in broad daylight? The museum opened at 9 a.m. The thieves also attacked at 9 a.m. They got in within 4 minutes. They were approached by security as they were ripping open the jewelry cases. But the jewelers were able to get away because the security is there to guard the people, not the art. So isn't that crazy? They aren't there to guard the art. They're there to guard the people and keep them safe. So these guys or gals got away with priceless jewels within 7 minutes. It's just unbelievable. They're probably off on an island somewhere. What are your thoughts, and which jewel would you like if you could choose? I was talking to one of you in the comment section about Kada Scott. Kada is a beautiful young lady who was the victim of a stalker. She checked into work at an overnight nursing facility, and the 23-year-old was never seen or heard from again. Allegedly, she walked outside. There was an anonymous call that and was never seen or heard from authorities. Oh, this is gut-wrenching. Let me get the news report. Hold on. During this disappearance, there was an anonymous call that alarmed the authorities. It put them on alert. To go to an abandoned middle school. There were remains there, apparently. The authorities went there. They didn't find anything. The anonymous person called back and said, please, you didn't look hard enough. Go back, and gave them more specific instructions to find the remains.
A tragic update in the disappearance of 23-year-old Kada Scott. Tonight, law enforcement sources telling Fox 29 that a DNA test of a body found Saturday morning in East Germantown confirms that the remains belong to Kada. Sources say the test showed a 99.9% match to DNA collected from Kada's parents. Tonight, we're also learning more about that anonymous tip that led investigators back to the area behind the former Ada Lewis Middle School Saturday morning, an area previously searched by police. That tipster, according to sources, asked police to please go back, saying they missed her, and gave a specific location in a wooded area behind the vacant school. When officers went back, an officer reportedly stepped on newly disturbed dirt, where they eventually found a body in a shallow grave. Kada's debit card and phone case were found in a different area by the school in the previous search. Kada went missing the night of October 4th after arriving for her overnight shift at the Terrace at Chestnut Hill, a senior living facility in East Mount Airy. Her car was left in the parking lot, but personal items like her phone and keys were missing. More than a week later, officials announced charges against 21-year-old Keion King for kidnapping, false imprisonment, and stalking in connection with Kada's disappearance. Investigators believe King was the last person to see her the night she disappeared. The district attorney says a previous kidnapping and assault case involving King, which was dismissed when a key witness failed to appear, was refiled. Sources tell Fox 29 King is expected to be charged with additional crimes this week, including stolen car charges and arson.
This POS, listen to this. This guy already had a previous victim that he was stalking already. He actually got charged with kidnapping, and Philadelphia law enforcement dropped the charges, let him go. Now he got another victim. This time took it to the point of no return, and Kada Scott is no longer here with us because of that. This dirty dog should have never been let go free in the first place.
Fox 29 News has learned that 21-year-old Keion King has an active protection from abuse order against him recently from a third young female in effect until 2027. That's in addition to the multiple kidnapping and related charges he's being held on $2.5 million bail on now in the disappearance of Kada Scott and the prior kidnapping case from earlier this year that was dismissed initially by the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. It was refiled this week after King's arrest in the Kada Scott case.
Karen, call the cops.
Philadelphia police sources tell me this video, posted on social media and shared widely following King's arrest this week, is part of the evidence in the first kidnapping case, dismissed by the DA's office, showing him walk up to the victim's window.
Keion out here.
Law enforcement sources tell me King was also a suspect in a prior rape case involving yet another woman, adding more to their belief that King has a pattern of very bad behavior with women. Sources tell me investigators found Kada's glasses, her iPad case, and her cell phone case, along with her bank card, in the search of this no longer used Philadelphia public school building yesterday. That's 2.5 miles, mostly down Stanton Avenue, from where she worked and was last seen. While King hasn't been as cooperative as detectives would like, sources tell me the young man that she was on a date with the night she was last seen did cooperate. She went on a date here to Topgolf Saturday night, arriving home at 9:45 p.m., just 5 minutes before her mother saw her leave for work.
Sidebar. You never know when the last time you'll see someone. Make sure you hug your loved ones. If he was stalking this young lady, is it possible he knew she went on a date that evening and got upset and decided to attack her because of that? This is scary. The way he was at the prior victim's window with his hoodie on, no shame. Luckily, she had the camera and got that footage to shame him away. When he saw the camera, he turned around, broad daylight, at her window, stalking her. with those types of charges, he should have never been released from the first arrest. Kada's remains have been identified. She's been brought back to her family so that she can be laid to rest. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family and loved ones. Now, switching gears, speaking of prison, our channel is turning 1, and I found a little prison footage for us. Looks like the girls in there are celebrating eating hot food. I'm glad they're getting the party started. Our channel is turning 1. I'll give more details. If you're celebrating anything special in the next week, leave a comment below. I'll include you in our Sunday Fun Day celebration. Yay! Now back to this food. Those burritos look pretty good, right? That table looks like it's used for multitudinous amounts of things. Know that. Now, that looks much more delicious than $30 wings and burgers, and much more cost efficient too. That's what Sarah's missing, a cellmate. Since she's in close confinement, she's alone. She can't hang out and have fun with the Scissor Sisters like these gals. Now let's head over to the car interrogation so we can remember how we got here in the first place.
You went to the store to buy cigarettes?
Yes.
What time was that around? If you recall. Was it light out still? Dark out?
Yes, it was light out
It
still.
was still light out. Okay. But he's the only person that left, and he came back,
Yes.
I'm assuming? Okay.
It's right down the street.
It's down the street. Okay. And tell me what you guys were doing next. Like, what was happening?
We had a bottle of wine. We painted. We drew. We did puzzles.
Do you remember what wine you guys were drinking?
It's Woodbridge Chardonnay.
Okay.
The bottles are in the trash.
Okay. Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you remember around, like, what time this was that you guys were sharing the bottle of wine, painting, doing puzzles?
I'm going to say 4-ish.
Okay. And was this before he went to the store or after?
I'm sorry?
Had he already gotten home from the store at this point to buy the cigarettes?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you hear Sarah say, "I'm sorry"? I believe she said "I'm sorry" because she knew she was lying. Listen. As a matter of fact, let's go. Hold on. Let me find this footage. I'll be right back. Shout out to you guys down in the chat, on the replay. Shout out to everybody. You know, I love hanging out with you. Docket watching, talking about Sarah and true crime. Okay, I found it. Watch as Sarah in her helmet sits there while Chelsea in her hair testifies to debunk the whole Publix lie.
In the course of speaking with her, did you learn that she had gone to Publix?
Yes, I was under the impression that George had gone to Publix.
Did you follow up with that Publix for surveillance video in this case?
Yes, I went to the Publix to gather surveillance video.
And were you able to find that video of them at Publix the previous day?
Yes.
Know that.
I don't.
Know that.
You got up and you went up to bed.
Ma'am, using the laser pointer, could you please identify the victim and the defendant on this video?
This is the defendant, and this is the victim.
You can advance the video.
Now you see Sarah there. I've circled it in red. With George, they have the same clothes on from the crime scene videos. This is the official last footage of George seen alive. We've seen the last body cam footage of George being arrested. This is actually the last footage of him, his last hours alive. You can see him and Sarah are talking. They're disheveled, looking around the market, pointing, waiting for their turn in line. What's important here is Sarah's using her own debit card. Let's watch.
Sarah can be seen using her own debit card, the card she accused George of stealing that day while she cleaned.
Do you see the bottle of wine?
Sarah
that
was never
purchased
called out on
in
this
video?
lie.
Yes, it's right here.
We could move on to the publication.
You can see there were 2 trips
the second
to Publix
surveillance
that day.
video.
Now let's watch the second trip to Publix where George was alone that time.
Can you identify Mr. Torres for us in this video?
Yes, he's right here.
Is that the second bottle of wine?
Yes.
All right.
So it was around 4 p.m.
Ish.
that you realized, and you guys were doing.
Puzzles and art,
Okay.
listening to music, enjoying each other's company.
And all downstairs, upstairs? Where did you
Downstairs.
guys? Downstairs. Okay.
We usually sit on the back porch because we smoke. You're not allowed to smoke inside, so.
Okay. And who was here last night? Was it just the 2 of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. No one ever came over at any point?
No.
No. Okay.
We called his daughters on FaceTime.
Okay.
We were just literally just enjoying one another's company.
Okay. And you guys share the phone that you have,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And the phone's located in there, I think, in the
Yes.
kitchen area. Yeah. Okay. So tell me what happens next. You're painting. You guys are doing this puzzle together. You obviously finished the bottle of wine.
Yes.
Did you have 1 or 2 bottles of wine?
Well, we had one previously that was maybe not even half full.
Do you guys remember when Mr. J pulled those big magnum-sized bottles out and clanked them on the counter in front of Sarah? And she tried to put her finger up and say, "Oh, it was here. We just drank it down to here." They were like some celebratory bottles that you would drink at a wedding or a graduation. And she's sitting here drinking them just for leisure around the house. That's like one of my favorite parts, a highlight, like when Mr. Cacciatore pulled out the posters and ruined James's closing arguments. Oh, in our last episode, remember I mentioned several times how it made me need my panic attack stuff when Chelsea would cut Sarah off. She's going to do it here. Listen close. Sarah's going to say something and Chelsea's going to cut her off. Then Sarah's going to say, "I'm sorry, what were you saying?" I wish Chelsea wouldn't have cut her off so many times. Just let it flow. Don't feed the beast.
Okay.
But then,
So you finished that one and then you had the full one.
yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What did you guys do next after the bottle of wine? Like after you
Well,
guys finished the wine?
We had the bottle of wine while we were doing our arts and crafts.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we were puzzled out, we were painted out.
Mm-hmm.
So, being silly, let's play hide and seek, which we have played before. Like, I don't know if you've opened the door on the top of the stairwell, like, he and I have hidden in there before. Like, just having fun and enjoying each other's company.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's literally all it was. And then the suitcase is downstairs because I was telling you we were getting ready to do donations.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's not a very good suitcase, what was the question? I'm sorry.
You were just explaining to me the night.
Oh, he decided to hide in there. So, being silly, he and I were sitting there laughing at it, like with him in there. And then, so I didn't zip it up all the way, but I mean enough to where his little fingers were out there and whatever, but still having a good time and whatever. Then I guess I decided to go upstairs, and I don't know, I fell asleep. So I woke up this morning and again thought he was downstairs on the laptop looking for a job, as he usually is. And then thought, where is he? Is he on the back porch? Is he in the bathroom? Like, where is he? And then I came to about the suitcase.
The suitcase. It's so strange the way she describes it. Mind you, this is at the scene of the crime in the car as it's just been discovered, George in the suitcase. She sounds more annoyed than anything. This is pretty much an extension of the 911 call. Apartment 3, France Lane, France Court. The suitcase. Nonetheless, this is the tip of the tip, and I could be a bit overzealous. I wouldn't even be able to sit in the car. I'd be out pacing, just frazzled. Which leads me to believe Sarah had gotten that out of her system already for hours, pacing around the floor, jumping up and down, screaming, wondering, oh my God, what am I going to do next? She'd gotten that all out of her system, waited until she couldn't wait anymore when Brian called, and scene. Negative earned. She went on to put on a performance of a lifetime. Well, a not so performance of a lifetime. You know what I mean? It earned her life.
So, I opened the suitcase. I took him out. Stretched him out. Started to do CPR. Where air was coming out, and then like whatever gurgle. So I'm trying to do CPR on him. Mm-hmm. I'm shaking him, trying to get him to come to, but I could tell by looking at him something was wrong. He's been losing his teeth lately and has been complaining about his chest hurts, which is why I keep trying to get him to go to the doctor, but because he nor I have a job or insurance, has been putting it off. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know what to do, so I called Brian, my ex-husband. I called him, he came over, just walked in and then walked out. I grabbed my phone and I called you guys. From there, here we are.
Okay. The first time you woke up this morning, did you look at your phone just to see what time it was?
Oh, she gets my panties in a bunch when whatever gurgle. Like he's a complete stranger. He was in the worst condition of his life. She knew he was gone, which is why I don't understand the urgency, the fake urgency in her 911 call. Please hurry. Please hurry. It's like she clicked on some type of switch where she started her acting as she used to when 911 was called and the authorities came out. She had a script that she would go by. This time, she'd gone way too far.
No. Okay. Most of the time, like, I'll wake up, but because he nor I have a job, I'll usually just lay in the bed for a little bit longer because the house is clean. There's nothing else that we can do. Mm-hmm. Me thinking he's on the laptop looking for jobs, I can't use a laptop. So most of the time I'll just stay in the bed and collect my thoughts and get ready for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any idea what time you woke up that first time? What time it may have been? I don't know if you guys have.
I'm going to say 11 something. 11 something.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Maybe.
Is that when you finally got up, or is that the first time you woke up?
No, that's the time that I decided to get up because I figured he was downstairs on the laptop. So let him look for jobs on the laptop, and then it usually I'll clean, he'll look for jobs, or vice versa, where I'll look for jobs and he'll clean.
Okay. So you think you got out of bed after 11 at some point?
Yes.
Okay. But we can't recall which time. Do you think you were up for like hours before that, or collecting your thoughts?
Brian, because I was supposed to have my son today to pick him up from school. Brian usually calls to make sure, hey, are you sure you're getting Lucas today? Because I've had job interviews.
Right.
Are you going to pick up Lucas? So after he called like maybe 3-4 times, maybe 5, I finally answered, and that's like...
Do you think you were sleeping and missed those calls?
No, I ignored them.
You ignored them?
Because he's notorious for blowing up my phone.
Okay.
But I understand why, because he's making sure that Lucas gets home.
Right, yeah, okay.
And to do whatever he needs to do day-wise so he can schedule around it.
Sidebar, that was a pretty bold statement to say to a detective during a murder investigation. You're playing with your child's life. I wish Judge Jackson could hear stuff like this. Although some of you have said in the comment section, the judge will only be privy to review what's submitted in the trial. So I don't know.
Were you upstairs in your room at that time when you were ignoring those phone calls?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so not really sure what time you woke up initially, but you were upstairs collecting your thoughts. You figured he was on the laptop downstairs, so you were just getting ready for your day.
Yes.
You finally got out of bed at sometime after 11 a.m. And had gone downstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking for him, and
couldn't find him. You looked outside, couldn't find him anywhere.
He wasn't in the bathroom. I was thinking maybe he's in the bathroom. But then I came to and remembered the suitcase.
And then you called Brian.
Yes. He
told
came
him
over.
to come over.
Yes, he came over.
He lives down the road, right? Not very far. He came over, walked in, basically walked out. You called 911.
Yes, I had my phone in my hand. I just wanted to wait for him to get there because I didn't know what to do.
Right. Okay.
Even Chelsea was speechless for a second.
And then we arrived.
Like, I couldn't, I still, to the...
What? What?
I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened, but, like, my whole thing is... The whole, like, teeth losing thing, and I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. He and I were having an amazing time yesterday, like we normally do.
No arguments?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
And the thing with him, though, is, which is why we've been doing puzzles and artwork lately, is that he's been stressing about a job, of course.
Of course.
Which we've talked about. So what I did was start having him do puzzles and artwork to keep his mind off of it.
Okay.
His ex-wife is all over him about sending money, which he can't do because he doesn't have a job.
Right.
So he was stressing about that. He's been stressing about the job. But that's why I started to buy puzzles and paint to get his mind off of them, which is what I don't know if you noticed on the wall in there, it's all of our artwork and stuff.
Right after the puzzle, what did y'all do?
I decided to continue to maintain and focus him, and I have a bunch of paints that I used of my son's that his grandmother bought him. It's a very big art wooden box, and it's got pastels, pencils, paint, any kind of whatever. And he and I were very much into art, and with this resource, it got him very interested in being more creative.
How long have you been into art?
Ever since I can remember. As a child.
You like to draw?
I like to do anything artistic.
Okay. And I know, we saw some of the pictures of your apartment, but it looks like there was pictures and artwork up. Is that all your work and George's work?
The majority of it, yes, are belongings from my home, and then also some of George's, yes, on the wall.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, music, art, and playing with the dogs, dancing around the room with the dogs. And then decided to play hide and seek. Because we're always trying to outdo each other on where we can hide the best.
How often do you guys play hide and seek?
Gosh, that was maybe, the third time? Maybe.
Okay. Is it a more recent game you've gotten into, or 3 times the total in your relationship you're talking about?
Lately.
Lately.
Because, again, like, we were puzzled out. We painted already, so why not?
So you were downstairs hanging out. Do you remember around what time you guys started playing hide and seek?
Honestly, I don't.
Do you remember if it was dark out?
Yeah, it was dark.
Okay.
It was dark. But my thing is like when I spend time with him and I tried to get him to start doing it, I don't look at the clock
Okay.
I'm here with him, and we're having a good time. I don't need to know what time it is.
Right. I didn't know if you were, like, on your phone, if you got a text message, if you got a phone call last night.
We called his daughters yesterday, FaceTime.
Right. What time was that at?
I don't know without looking at my phone.
Okay.
But I ended up...
Would that be the only activity that you had yesterday on your phone?
I called Lucas. I talked to Lucas. He's my son.
Okay.
I always call him.
Morning?
No, it was evening.
Evening? Okay.
But
I'm just trying to help you, like, remember, something you did right before hide and seek that would help you remember a time or give us a good time frame. Because that's important for, us to know. We want to be able to tell the doctors that.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay. So, when you called your...
He's my son. I always call him. Oh, we know, Sarah. You're actually still calling him right now, trying to legally bind him to call you. He and your former husband. Negative earned.
When you called Lucas, was it before or after hide and seek?
Before.
Okay. And when you called and FaceTime his daughters, before or after hide and seek?
Before.
Okay. And did you call the daughters first and then Lucas, or Lucas first and then the daughters?
I know I talked to Lucas, but then we talked to the daughters afterwards.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't remember if she called us. No, I know he called Cookie. But yes, we called her.
What are the two daughters' names? Or just one? Did you say one
he
daughter?
He has three children. It's Anna, Cookie, what her real name is Destiny. And then he has a handicapped son, Georgie.
Okay. Who did you call, though, yesterday? Who did he call?
Cookie.
And what is Cookie's real name? Does she have his last name or something else?
It's Torres. Because she remarried, but I don't know her last name.
Okay. Okay, so you know it's dark out, but you're not really sure what time it is. You play hide and seek. How long do you guys play hide and seek before he decides to get into the suitcase?
Oof. Wasn't
approximate.
Wasn't really. I hid upstairs in the shower. And then came downstairs because I was tired of hanging out in the shower.
Okay.
So that's when he was playing around in the suitcase. So
okay.
Because we both thought it was funny that oh yeah, well, I'm gonna zip you up. You didn't come look for me. So again, it's a broken suitcase, but
what do you mean by broken?
It's only got one of these, but because I didn't zip it up all the way, he was doing the...
You mean it doesn't have, like, the pull part?
Correct.
Okay, but it's
I think it's got a, what do you call it? A paper clip.
Okay. So the zipper to it is missing, like the actual zipper that attaches to it to help you open and close is missing, but you think a paper clip was on it instead?
I believe there's a paper clip on it, because I know that the last
That's
time...
what you used to, like, help assist you?
Well, or you can just stick your fingers in there and...
Right, yeah, you
unzip
could do
it yourself, which is why I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay. So how much did you zip it up?
I mean, I don't really know.
You said his fingers were able to stick out?
Yeah, two fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm figuring he'll get it. He'll get it. But then I wanted to go upstairs and waited for him, and eventually I guess I fell asleep. I had the dogs in the bed with me. It was warm, and then fell asleep.
So you guys are joking. He's in there. You said you could see two of his fingers?
Yes.
And then, like, you just decided, okay, I'm going to go upstairs now? Or?
Because I figured he would get out and then go upstairs and have intimate relations like we normally do. But I fell asleep.
Okay.
And he never came upstairs. So, again, I'm thinking he's downstairs on the laptop earlier today. Okay. And then remembered.
Okay. So, is this something that do you guys play hide and seek before you have sexual intercourse, or do you guys just play hide and seek because you're bored and you're just trying to pass time and it's fun?
We were, again, puzzled out. Can't paint anymore. Even started to purge some of the art that's on the wall now. So,
new word alert, purge. They were purging the art off the walls. The interview ends abruptly right there in the discovery. I found the rest of it in the courtroom, so we'll head over there and listen to it there.
I've been having to ask Brian, my former husband, for money to pay for electricity and hot water for Lucas and groceries.
Okay.
So I think that, of course, because he can't support me, has been bothering him, which is why I bought a new puzzle for the two of us to do.
Right.
And that's what we were working on in the painting.
Okay. Do you guys normally argue often, not often, weekly, every other?
It all depends on like if he had a good day or a bad day kind of thing, where he would just be happy to come home and see me because he knows that it's going to get better. Leave me alone.
Okay.
You're not going to remember shit. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not doing nothing right now.
Get away from me. Get away from me. You do everything to me all the time. All the time. Heartache and pain is what you cause me. Heartache and pain.
How is that?
Keep going.
She ain't gonna be blessed like me.
So he hasn't worked in about 2 weeks?
Yes. I'm feeling really like weird, guys. Like lightheaded.
Okay.
Like I feel really weird right now.
Do you feel like you're gonna be sick?
No, I'm not sick, just I don't know.
Do you need food?
I haven't even fed my dogs today. The mice need to be taken care of still. I don't think they have any food. But again, I'm thinking he's downstairs on the laptop, so he can use the laptop and then I'll use the laptop afterwards.
You said he got into, you said an argument, but he had a bunch of facial injuries where he had reconstructive surgery?
Yes.
So he and his brother got into a fist fight?
Oh my gosh, it was horrific, yes.
Was it, usually when you have that much damage, it's more than just a fist fight. His brother hit him with something?
No, wait till you guys see Mo. Mo is a gorilla.
She's loving telling the story about how Mo defended her honor. Watch her in court as she listens to it, though. She's sitting there, ice cold.
It is possibly that's what's causing the teeth to get messed up?
Did they have to do work on his teeth or his jaw?
Just his eyes.
His eyes.
Just the orbital sockets?
Yes. Well, and they fixed his nose, too.
Okay. Now, the damage to his eyes, is that still, is it noticeable or?
No.
Okay, so when they fixed the sockets, they came back and you couldn't tell that they'd been damaged?
I couldn't tell, but his children recognize it, where they say he doesn't look like the same dad.
Okay.
But to me, I never noticed it.
No other damage to the jaw, the forehead, anything like that?
No. It was just his eyes and his nose.
Bless you.
You and George were no longer having a conversation, laughing about the suitcase. You just decided to go upstairs.
No, we were laughing about it.
Okay, so you continued to joke about it as you were going upstairs, thinking he'll just get himself out, and then...
Yes, that's why I didn't close it all the way. That's why I didn't close it all the way. I'm like, he'll be up here in a minute now. But then, I guess I dozed off.
Clearly, George Torres is dominating the defendant. Clearly, George Torres is the one telling the defendant what to do. Clearly, George Torres is the one calling the shots at 4748 France Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, are we so sure that George Torres wasn't the person suffering from battered spouse syndrome?
Should disregard every bit of her testimony, from court to the detectives to the 911 operator to the doctors. Her testimony, if it is to be believed, the most favorable light that she has presented of herself, is that at the end of a Sunday fun day, where we are drinking, we're outside by the dartboard, we're doing puzzles, we're doing arts and crafts, and there finally comes a point in time where we're going to play hide and seek. And he says, "Tag, you're it." Even though she's it, she goes upstairs, hides in the shower, eventually gets tired of being there, it's cold, so on and so forth, and she comes back downstairs. And as she comes back downstairs, she can see Mr. Torres fiddling to place himself inside the suitcase to try and hide for this game. And the lid is not closed and it's flapping. And out of jest, out of levity, undisputed according to her testimony, she comes over there and zips it shut. Whether it's 100% or enough for 2 fingers to get out, that is something that you decide as the jury. But there came a point in time where the fun and games was over. And Mr. Torres told her that. "Babe, I can't breathe. Sarah, babe, let me out. This is all on video. We don't have to imagine this. This is all on video." 1062. At that point in time, she is using force against him that is not justified. She is the initial provocateur. She is the aggressor under the law. And what level of force is it? "I can't breathe." Not let go of my hand, not get your hands off me. "I can't breathe." These are the 2 paragraphs that solve this equation without getting up on a big whiteboard in college that's 30 feet long, 15 feet high, and a ladder, and somebody's scribbling Latin words and Greek letters for months and months to solve this huge, complicated equation. The equation is solved in 2 paragraphs. She is the initial aggressor. He is saying, "I can't breathe." It is no different than a naked chokehold that she does not let go of. And she told you it's because I want him to listen to me. This is my bully pulpit. This is how he made me feel in the past. The testimony from the defendant is George Torres' head is here. You can stand if you need. You've been sitting a long time too. His head is here. His butt is kind of down here. His feet are here. And his hands and his knees are up here. He's in the fetal position, if we remember right. The hematoma on his head is on the left side. The bruises, the deep bruises on his back, are on his left side. You hear that? That's solid. You don't have to accept that she put those marks on him when he was in there. The evidence doesn't support it. You can conclude she used this bat when he was outside the suitcase. You don't have to believe her when she said they were playing hide and seek. You don't have to believe her because she doesn't know the rules. She came downstairs, saw what she had done, and had all the opportunity in the world to clean up whatever mess may have been at the bottom of the stairs. But ladies and gentlemen, physics doesn't lie. It's inconsistent that he received the hematoma to his head His bloody mouth. How is his mouth getting bloodied inside the suitcase? That's protected from her and her bat. But that suitcase, a 100-pound drunk woman is not beating through the wood of that suitcase or whatever it is that's making that noise when it's thumped. Ladies and gentlemen, those injuries happened outside of the suitcase. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody or something went down those stairs. She has no injuries consistent with going down the stairs. He does. He has blunt force trauma all over him. You don't have to buy her story, and you shouldn't.
There was no way Sarah was walking out of that courtroom after this double whammy, this back and forth between Mr. J and Mr. Cacciatore. And James, now I notice James did his closing all by himself and he was struggling, fighting for his life. Remember, he thought he was connecting with the jury. Can you believe that? They said George was the victim. Can you believe that? And I'm screaming at the TV like, yes, James, I believe that. George was the victim, yes. We've discussed that. At that point, James was checked out and ready to go. Many before him had tried. Few made it through this war with Sarah Boone. All he had left was battle cries of a loser and sympathy. I'm just a good old boy from Milton. I don't know how we got here, but thanks for being nice to us, and we just want to talk about Sarah Boone today. You don't hit girls. I don't care what they do to you. No, sir. No, you don't. Meanwhile, George is in the back, faintly screaming, begging for his life. Or better yet, there's a cardboard box sitting in the middle of the courtroom with a suitcase in it. They had to put the suitcase in a box. The suitcase wasn't a gun or some sort of weaponry. It was a suitcase. The suitcase held so much significance, people couldn't bear to look at it. You can see it there in the corner, a box. They put the suitcase in a box. People couldn't even bear to look at the suitcase. It was looked at as a real weapon. Later on, during the impact statements, you can hear George's sister say how suitcases and zippers have impacted her life in more ways than one. She can't even zip all the way. She leaves 2 inches because it just makes her feel better. She just can't zip anything all the way. Can you imagine? I always think of his children zipping backpacks and zipping zippers. Just the small things in life you never really think of. Meanwhile, Sarah's over there sitting all smug, watching like she's the victim here. Mr. Cacciatore is doing a great job. Mr. J too. James too. I always have to give James his credit for getting us that life sentence. He was definitely intricate in playing a big part. He and Lana both. Also, her many fans. They fed her mind and her delusion. We saw through her fan mail, her tablet messages. Sarah was in this little bubble worried about her snacks and wardrobe and getting her hair done. Fast forward, now she's down to her 9 representatives who have, quote unquote, messed up her closing arguments. And we're waiting for Judge Jackson's final ruling to wrap everything up with Sarah.
Danielle does it best. Shout out to Danielle Siobhan. She does the best Sarah voice.
Shout out to Tanika. Big shout out to you guys too. You guys want to keep going. All my straight A students and scoundrels, leave a trophy in the chat. Now, let's hang out on the YouTube streets and visit my girls, Suma and Tanika. This particular clip of Suma is hilarious to me. You know, I love her content. She's going to explain her love-hate relationship for Sarah. She's speaking almost directly from my heart. Let's see if you can relate. Don't forget your medical snacks, your perpetual cigarettes, or glasses of wine. Let's get this party started.
Anything. But you guys are assuming that
Were you trying to cooperate?
In every way.
Were you polite with them?
Like, this is not fair at all, at all.
Yes.
That you all are assuming that it's awful, I know.
Okay.
It's awful. Really?
I know that the Sarah Boone trial is over and that justice has been served. And I'm watching other trials and following other cases, but I am still not done talking about Sarah Boone. There's a lot I have to work through. There was just so much content there because of her insidious insistence on everything that she wanted. And she's such a dichotomy because normally, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with her, but let's start with sadistic sociopath, just to throw a few terms around. My unprofessional opinion. You know, you always hear about how people like that are charismatic, they're very smart. She's none of that. I don't think she's bright at all. Whatever smarts, I would say maybe an average IQ, but all of the ego stuff and delusions and lack of self-awareness and inability to read a room, that makes her stupid. She doesn't have the charisma and the smarts that someone like her is usually believed to have. And it does seem that she's been getting her way forever because she'll just get on the stand and say anything. She knows there are receipts to prove her wrong. She does not care. I mean, she sat in that interrogation for an hour and a half, disputing a video she had just seen with her own eyes. As an example, if your boyfriend was in your apartment dead, you were your townhome, you were the only two home, and it happened under suspicious circumstances, when the detectives got there, would you tell them that his family is going to think you did this because they've always said you were going to kill him? Is that smart? Alone was not enough to draw me in. As I've said before, I just figured, you know, this is a Florida woman does blah, blah, blah. Now, first I saw the headline. I didn't pay any attention to it. Then I saw the interrogation. I was like, wow. But after that, I didn't think about it that much. I remembered it and I thought it was crazy, but it was almost too crazy to think about. Pause.
Too crazy to think about, even crazier to forget it. It's the same with the family law case. She's so outlandish with her requests and demands, we're hanging on by a thread waiting for a final motion from Judge Jackson. Speaking of, let's head over to family court. I never noticed before, Judge Jackson was really, really fed up with Sarah. She kept breathing hard okay, Miss Boone. Let's watch Sarah throw all her charm and wit at the court. Yes, Your Honor. Please. Thank you, Your Honor. Brian.
The proposed parenting plan regarding the sole responsibility, the modification of child support, and the modification of alimony. Your question on those issues is?
Yes, Your Honor. The sole responsibility has not changed since day one of me being incarcerated. He's never asked me.
I'm not asking you for your position, Ms. Boone. I'm asking you, do you have any additional questions for Mr. Boone on those topics?
Boom.
Have I ever purchased a gift or something for?
With your own money?
Judge Jackson and the perfect poker face.
Have I purchased any items for our son?
Well, I purchased them.
Your Honor, I need.
Hold up, stop.
I need some scope of what time period she's talking about.
All right, I'm going to sustain the objection. Re-ask your question, and you need to put a specific time period in your question.
Within the last month, what have I purchased for our son?
You had somebody third party else, not you, buy him a record for his vinyl player.
Have I purchased previous items for him?
You have had a third party, not your money, not you, purchase some things for him. Yes.
What family members do I have helped pay?
Excuse me?
She's gagged.
I'm sorry?
What'd you say?
My family members. Who is it that I could have help pay?
Philip's the only person.
Why is that?
Sidebar. This question is totally inappropriate now that I listen again. That isn't his place to determine who she has in her life. It leaves so much room for him to speculate. Granted, he quote unquote knows her family history. However, in reality, her brother, he's in the military. I know people that are in the military currently. I have family in the military. When I was a little girl, I had family from the military sending boxes from Korea. Right now, there are people that I know. I have friends in the military. They're sending stuff back and forth all of the time. We're in constant communication. She's presenting as if her brother, or even her other wayward brother. There's people that are in prison that communicate. There's people that are at low socioeconomical status that communicate. Whatever excuse she wants to use, my finances, my limited resources, people can communicate. Her brothers could communicate with her son if they really wanted to. I just think there should have been an objection. It just leaves Brian on the spot. However, he did turn it around and burn her when she asked about her grandparents. Let's listen.
Because your other brother's not really capable of doing anything, and your mom and dad are dead, and you don't get along with any of your other relatives.
Are my grandmother and grandfather deceased?
Well, I mean, you're almost 50 years old. Most people, their grandparents are deceased at that point.
All right, Ms. Boone, what's the relevance of these questions?
Judge Jackson is going to lose it.
Because they're trying to make me seem that myself and no one in my family is contributing to my son.
It's true.
And it's difficult when my family is deceased and my younger brother is in the military on his 9th deployment in Israel. So,
all right, ask your next question. Ask your next question.
Do you guys think that's a good excuse?
May I please put in an exhibit?
Any objection to her putting it?
I haven't. I'd like to see it, and what she's specifically talking about.
All right. Which exhibit, Ms. Boone?
The exhibit, please, is number 37 on my exhibit list per the uniform order. The GPL communication current pricing.
All right, give us a minute.
May I approach
I'm
the
sorry,
clerk, Your Honor?
number 36.
Just a minute.
Brian is so fidgety and fractious. Shout out to Hear Me Out, Tanika, Edie Beatty, Larry Powers, everybody in the audience there. Me there telephonically on the screen. Big shout out to you guys too. This case has been so fun to follow. Ooh, we still have the appeal.
I have no objection.
All right, Ms. Boone, counsel has no objection to your exhibit, so I'm going to receive what was pre-marked as number 36 as respondent's exhibit number 1.
Yes, Your Honor. That is to show, please, that it's 13 cents per minute for me to speak to my son on the phone. And also the fact that we have...
Stop. Slow down for just 1 minute. Do you want Mr. Boone to see that document? Are you going to ask him a question about the document?
Yes.
All right, just give us 1 minute. Mr. Boone has taken a look at the document. No, he's going to keep it.
Oh.
All right. Do you have a question for him about the document?
When you originally signed up for this account in order to utilize the phone option, were you aware of the 13 cents per minute?
Yes. I have to pay for all the phone calls.
So you accepted the fact that it was 13 cents per minute?
You don't have a choice. That's the only way to have phone calls in the jail.
Yes or no. For most of my questions, it's just a simple yes or no.
Ma'am, what's the point of this questioning?
Because he's making it seem that it's a very expensive phone call for me to speak to my son, and it's just 13 cents a minute, and we don't utilize the full 30 minutes each time.
Okay, Sarah's doing some babbling about the 13 cents a minute and why, since Brian pushed one, he should be responsible for the price for the rest of her life. But before we ever knew there was going to be a family law hearing, Brian never really wavered from his description of former mother's behavior or performance. In my opinion, this would have been great to tell Judge Jackson, like, hey, she never really even spent time with my son. But let's listen to him tell Chelsea.
Can you please explain to the court my conversations on more than one occasion of why I would not have 100% or 50% of my time?
The rotation real quick. So Monday, Tuesday, she'll have them. Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have them, and then you rotate each weekend.
Yeah, well,
like it's every other weekend.
How it's supposed to work. Generally, it's 1 or 2 times, maybe a week. I think she had him last Tuesday was the last time he was actually over here.
And spent the night?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably another week before that.
What's your son's name? He stayed here last Tuesday.
Yes. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was last Tuesday.
Thank God he
was, well then, okay, so you technically have him more than she does. Is that where you're getting?
Yeah, that's why I said I was going to
So even though that's how it's supposed to be, you still have him.
Yeah, it's not a good day. George is in a bad mood or whatever else reason. I think sometimes just she wants to stay up and drink and can't really do that if she's got to wake up and take him to school the next day.
Right.
Any number of different reasons.
Okay.
Sarah's getting a little overzealous that her whole safety angle isn't working. We're going to head back to Tillwood just to get a reminder of who really was a safety risk.
Did I ever explain to you the safety risk and danger of having my son come over on particular days that it was mine?
Not really. I mean, kind of, yeah, I guess. I don't know, most of the time when you had me come over there and pick him up and was supposed to stay over at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, there was nothing going wrong. It was just the two of you drinking and having fun, and I guess didn't want him there anymore.
Brian.
Next question, ma'am.
George was very confident. He wasn't arrogant or anything. He, for the most part, stayed to himself. Like I said, there are a couple people here that he knew, from, I will say, another life from Philadelphia. And, George was the one I always seen driving the vehicle. George is the one I always seen playing with the child. Never saw Sarah outside playing with her kid, ever. As a matter of fact, most of the time, Lucas, you would find him riding around the property on his bike, unattended. No parents outside, no nothing. Because I had actually had a conversation with Sarah about that. And I said, the kid was a great kid, don't get me wrong, he never did anything to get me in trouble, but it was more my concern for his well-being. When he's all the way riding over here, around some of these corners with the dumpsters, these people don't see nobody. And they sure ain't gonna see no kid on that. So I had a conversation with her about that, and we haven't had any really problems. I can say I've only seen Lucas on his bike away from her like that twice. She actually had secluded him to stay in front of the building, which was fine. I just didn't want him all the way over here. But yeah, you didn't see Sarah out at all.
Did ever tell you that he like being more at your house because of everything that you had and everything that I didn't have?
So I'm going to object, as that's a question based on hearsay.
Sustained. Next question.
Did you have more entertainment than I did?
Really, in all honesty, no.
Heartache and pain, heartache and pain. Sarah's getting all mad because her safety angle isn't quite working. Well, Brian isn't going along with her narrative. He actually spared her, in my opinion, because Brian could have demolished Sarah. Let's head back to court and just listen to what he said previously about inmate Boone.
The alcohol has gotten worse and worse and worse over the years. That's one of the main reasons why I divorced her. I just couldn't deal with it. I mean, it got to the point where, on weekdays she'd go out, and I guess the George person is one of the people she had met, because I separated at one point and went over to my parents' house to live for a few months, and I guess she met him over at the pool place or something like that. But I'd come back and we were in therapy trying to work it out, and I mean, on a weeknight when he's got school the next day, I've got work the next day, I mean, she was out till 3 o'clock in the morning when the bar closes, and she'd bring people back over on the back porch. I mean, one time some random person walked in my house and started screaming for Sarah at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning when we're trying to sleep. I mean, I just couldn't get over it.
So did you still live here?
No. I bought her out of our house.
Okay.
I was going to just sell it and move because I kind of want to go back to College Park, which is where I'm from, but I thought it would be maybe easier for Lucas if I just bought her out and kept that house so he had a little bit of continuancy, kind of.
Understandable.
So that's what I ended up doing, and then she moved right down the street here, so.
And how long would you say the alcoholism has been a part of her life?
I mean, it's always been a part of her life. It seemed to have gotten worse and worse. I think more or less kind of since we had Lucas. And I think a lot of it was the fact that she kind of, I guess, maybe felt trapped or something.
Okay.
That, I mean, before that, I mean, whenever she wanted, you're outside having a drink, oh, I want to go play pool, you go over across the street, you play pool for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not happening anymore when she got a kid.
Right.
So.
How old's your son?
He is 9. So, but I mean, she started just getting really angry when she drank a lot. She said last night she fell asleep. There were plenty of times where she just basically passed out from drinking. So,
so you've witnessed her pass out from drinking?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, former mother, this beaming, excellent mother that excelled at everything, only kept her son 1 day a week, and that was forced, on top of forgetting to pick him up daily and ignoring his father's calls. Speaking of calls, let's head over to Tanika's page and listen to some call log info. You know, according to the records, Peter's been dodging Sarah's calls ever since that mishap with the closing arguments. Which flying monkey messed up?
I want to quickly touch on it before we jump into the us being nosy and the call logs. This is Sarah's inmate list, right? Visitors. Sorry, not inmates, visitors, free people coming in to visit. In order to put money on her books, send her money, commissary, whatever it's called, it's a trust account. In order to make deposits onto her trust account, you have to be on this list. The dearly departed is still here. Lana. Brian is on here as info only, and her son is on here as info only, but they can send money. Where you see visitor status approved, we still have Julian, we have the flying monkey, we have Peter, Brenda, David, Danielle, Parsons, her mother and father, who are no longer with us, but I guess some of you guys were like, in case you want to, like, not have someone pretend to be them, you would mark them. And then her brother is also on there, right? So just so we have that clear going out of the gate, and then we'll get into her call log. So as a refresher, her trial was August 25th. I was there. Hear Me Out was there. HR Mom, Edie Beatty. Oh, there's one name I'm forgetting. Oh God, there's two. I can see your faces. Forgive me. Y'all know who you are. You were there. Larry Powers, and then there's like an Italian name that I'm dropping, but it's okay. So leading up to that on 8/18, and the people are still ghosting her because we have from 8/18, this is where we had our last cutoff. The only person who answers her on that date is the Flying Monkey, 10:32 a.m. Not Pacific, Eastern time for 4 minutes and 43 seconds. So not a big deal. She did attempt to make a call to Peter on the 18th again. Like she had 1, 2, 3, 4 prior attempts with him starting at 10:03 in the morning. So 10:03, 10:04, 10:28, 10:31. No answer. She tried him at 11:02. 11:04 is a collect call, and we get that weird multi-way call block. So there's either a 3-way or something is going on the back end that they're detecting, and so they don't let it. Pin lockout, 11:04. This was her free courtesy marketing call. Not sure what the pin lockout is. Then she tries the Flying Monkey again, and no answer. Not accepted, specifically. Not accepted. And then she finally gets a hold of the Flying Monkey at 11:09, and they talk for almost the full time, 29 minutes, 39 seconds. And then she calls her son, 18:07, which is 6, so we're in the evening, 6:07, 6:09, 6:59. He does not answer. He does not accept any of those calls. Then she calls the Flying Monkey back. This is now on the 19th. So we're getting closer to the 25th, so perhaps they're now delving into the documents, preparing. Sorry, y'all saw the trial. You know what her preparing ended up as, right?
Why was your statement made that our son is upset after speaking to me on the phone? Do you know specifically why? Because you asked me or him?
Because he tells me. I can see him.
I'm asking you if he explained to you why he was upset.
Yes.
And why is that?
Can I mean, any number of different reasons. The way you talked to him, what you said to him, how you made him feel. I mean, the plethora of emotions that you corrupted.
Is it because you allowed him to curse on the phone? The majority of the time, I will tell you this, which you are unaware of because
You're not telling anybody anything, ma'am. You're asking a specific question. Ask your question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, mercy. Okay. Then she talked to Nicole almost 30 minutes on the 19th. She finally gets Philip to pick up the phone at 2:02 on the 19th, and they talk for 16 minutes. Oh, not finally. Philip is her brother. I'm mixing him up with Peter. So she calls Philip. I hope she's telling him, thank you for that $600 family law book you sent me, because I'm using it diligently to fight for my rights.
Do you guys think, sidebar, do you guys think she ever got the book? Remember, she was going off. She was livid through the roof. Bonkers. Send me money, send me money, send me money. I'll interject that Sarah could have used $600 on a year's worth of calls to her son. It's only 13 cents a minute. Excuse me, didn't you press 1 to accept my call? So one of my mathematician people in the comments, if you want, how many calls would Sarah get to little man? $600. Instead of getting that book, how much are $600 worth of calls at 13 cents a minute?
Okay, then she tries Peter again, who has not answered. So all of this time, Peter is telling Sarah basically she is persona non grata. Then Flying Monkey on the 20th of August, she calls at 8:49 in the morning, 8:56 in the morning, 10:13, 10:15, 10:38, 9:24, 9:28, 9:36, None of these are accepted. She did speak to the Flying Monkey on the 23rd, which was the Saturday prior to that Monday Family Trial Day, and they talked for 30 minutes, thereabouts. And as she said in the hearing / trial, or as Brian said, she called her son the night before after not having called in a while, and they talk for almost 30 minutes. She calls at 5:51. The next day is the family trial. Starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, it was meant to start at 1. Due to technical difficulties and Sarah logging into the wrong thing, it didn't actually start until 1:30. But they talk for 4 minutes, and that's it. Then she tries Nicole again at 9:55, so we're still in the morning. It's not the hearing yet. Flying Monkey. She tries the Flying Monkey at 9:55. FM doesn't answer. She tries her again at 10:19. They talk for 25 minutes. Probably like a pep talk. Tell him this about Brian, and tell him how he is alienating you even though he pays for all the calls, and tell them how he's in contempt. And Sarah's like, yes, I always know what to do and how to do it, and I'm going to remind them that I'm pro se and doing my best. Forgive me, please. So then this part I feel like it's kind of shady. 5:31. So that hearing that day ended a little bit after 5, like not quite 5:05, but thereabouts. And then here she is at 5:31. Now, mind you, Brian is there in person. We're in Orlando. Brian doesn't live in Orlando. He's got to drive back to wherever his son is. Why are you calling the son at 5:30? You know the dad's not there. Is that why you're doing it? To make sure the dad can't hear? Or you just want to tear into him? Or you want to ask him, why did your dad say you're upset after we talk on the phone? So she continues to call him. 5:31, 5:33, 5:37, 6:38, 6:40. He doesn't answer any of those. Nobody's answering.
Tisk tisk, nobody's answering. Head over to Tanika's page to hear the entire video and the entire call log. And shout out to Classified Crime. I think I saw a new video with new call logs. Make sure you guys go over there and check it out. I'll check it out too. We may talk about it in our next video. Alas, Sarah Boone. Which Boone is this? This isn't Drunky the Bear quite yet. Which Boone is this? Leave in the comment section right now which evolution phase of Boone is this we're looking at here. She's supposedly at a work event, you guys, a work event. Hence the floral blouse. Remember, Judge Koenig said the defendant is wearing a blouse with blotches on it or something to that effect. Whatever evolution of Boone this is, you can still see that old crazy in her eyes. I know the eyes next to her are crazy too, even though you can only see one of them. 3 crazy eyes on the screen here. No malicious. I'm sure he's harmless. It's Sarah who you have to keep one eye open with. Let's head back to court and let Mr. Cacciatore wrap us up with that masterclass of a closing argument. I didn't forget about that.
Owings will rise. And he is going to show you this. And this. And this. And he's going to talk in this as well about the list of grievances that Sarah Boone had for George Torres. He's going to talk to you about curtain rods. He's going to talk to you about black eyes. He's going to talk to you about what an awful, awful boyfriend George Torres was. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of all of that, it still will not change the fact that the defendant is not entitled to the justifiable use of deadly force.
If you made it this far, you know I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next episode.